bright season is here, filled with colors, energy, and the familiar bustle that signals the close of another year.
It's that time of the year when people get busy, market gets more sales, and everyone just wants to close the year strong.
For many, December brings excitement, but for others, a quiet pressure to tick boxes left untouched since January.
In the race to finish well, many people often push beyond limits, forgetting that peace is also an accomplishment.
Some get agitated, anxious, or desperate to prove something before the calendar flips.
But the truth is, no achievement is worth your safety, your finance, and your peace of mind.
Your journey is valid, even if everything didn't go as planned this year.
Celebrate your progress, protect yourself, and move wisely through the seasons, temptations, and rush.
Let December be a month of gratitude, intentions, and clarity, not fear or unnecessary pressure.
Step into the Yuletide, heed this clarion call. With calmness, wisdom, and joy we ride. Staying alive is the greatest achievement of all.
All of us at SOUQ News TV, welcome to the Christmas season, a time of reflection and gratitude. Stay safe and remain grateful.
At the Africa Development Study Center, ADSC, we are committed to driving sustainable growth and development across Africa through innovative training and research. Our mission: empowering leaders, policymakers, and professionals with the tools they need to create lasting change. With customized training, dynamic research programs, and study exchanges on leadership, management, and other critical development topics, ADSC offers a platform for exchanging cutting-edge ideas and global best practices. We provide comprehensive services in research and consultancy, capacity building and training, education programs, publishing, and knowledge sharing. Our esteemed faculty, composed of seasoned experts and researchers, ensures a learning experience that is insightful and practical. We specialize in policy development, implementation strategies, and monitoring and evaluation. At ADSC, learning is engaging and enjoyable. Our unique methodology includes talks, interactive exercises, games, video screenings, and lively seminar discussions, all in a comfortable and friendly environment. For more information, email us at info@adstudycenter.com or call +234 912 039 2362. Visit our website www.adstudycenter.com to explore our programs and upcoming events. Africa Development Study Center, rethinking development for Africa.
Muhammad Yunus was born on the 28th of June 1940 in the village of Batwa, Chittagong, a British Indian colony which is currently known as Bangladesh. He attended Lama Bazar Primary and Secondary School in his village and passed the matriculation examination into Chittagong Collegiate School, where he ranked 16th out of 39,000 students. After his graduation in 1961, Yunus joined the Bureau of Economics as a research assistant and was later appointed lecturer of economics at the Chittagong College. During that time, he also set up a profitable packaging factory on the side. In 1965, he received a Fulbright scholarship to study in the United States, where he obtained his PhD in economics from the Vanderbilt University Graduate Program in Economic Development. Between 1969 and 1972, after his keen education excellence of apex heights and proportions in the United States, he returned home and was appointed professor of economics at the University of Chittagong. He was eventually appointed onto the board of directors
Hello and welcome to the Midday News here on SOUQ News Television. We're reaching live from our studios in Lagos. I am Grace Komalafe. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has spoken by phone with Nigerian British boxing star Anthony Joshua following a tragic road accident in Ogun State that left the former heavyweight champion injured and claimed the lives of two of his associates. The incident occurred along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. In a statement issued by his spokesman, Bayo Ononuga, Tinubu said he personally conveyed his condolences to Joshua and wishes him a speedy recovery. He added that Joshua confirmed he is receiving quality medical care. The president also spoke with Joshua's mother, offering prayers and words of comfort, which she appreciated. Tinubu further contacted Ogun State Governor Dakpo Abiodun, who was at the hospital with Joshua. The governor assured the president that all necessary medical attention was being provided. Earlier, Tinubu had expressed deep sympathy in a public message as officials continue to monitor Joshua's condition following the accident. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has restored the Escravos Lagos pipeline system to full operation weeks after an explosion disrupted gas supply along the critical corridor in Delta State. The company said the incident had affected gas deliveries to power plants and industries nationwide. NNPC said the pipeline, which exploded on December 10, 2025, was prepared, tested, and successfully recommissioned. Emergency response measures were immediately activated to contain damage, secure the area, and prevent further safety or environmental risks, while technical teams worked on permanent fixes. Analysts say the restoration will ease pressure on gas-dependent power generation and industrial output, improving electricity supply stability. However, the one that recurring incidents linked to infrastructure vulnerability and sabotage continue to threaten energy security. They stress the need for stronger surveillance, faster response system, and long-term investment in pipeline protection to prevent further disruptions and sustain reliable gas supply across the country. Away from that, foreign direct investment FDI into Nigeria surged to $720 million in the third quarter of 2025, a remarkable 700% increase from the $90 million recorded in the second quarter. The Central Bank of Nigeria's balance of payment report shows. The rise highlights renewed investment confidence in the country's economic policies and growing appeal across sectors, including manufacturing, energy, and services. Analysts note that improved regulatory frameworks and incentives have played a role in attracting more capital. Year-on-year, FDI also increased by 26.3% compared to $570 million in third quarter 2024. Observers suggested that sustained inflows could support job creation, infrastructure development, and broader economic growth, signaling a positive trend for Nigeria's position in the global investment landscape. And now the Oil Farmers Association of Nigeria, EFAN, has welcomed the federal government's deployment of over 7,000 forest guards, saying the initiative will encourage farmers to return to their fields during both the dry and rainy seasons. EFAN National President Mohammed Getado said the move will also strengthen internal security by denying terrorists, bandits, kidnappers, and other criminal groups safe havens in forested and remote areas. He emphasized that improved security is vital for protection, livelihoods, and sustaining agricultural productivity. Many farmers had previously abandoned their farms due to repeated attacks and threats from criminals, impacting food production and rural incomes. Observers say the forest guard deployment could restore confidence, increase crop output, and promote economic stability in farming communities. The initiative is also seen as part of broader effort to safeguard Nigeria's agricultural sector and ensure national food security. Moving on, Facebook owner Meta has agreed to acquire Manus, an advanced artificial intelligence agent developed by Butterfly Effect, a company founded in China and now headquartered in Singapore. The firm said the deal would expand Meta's push into autonomous AI tools capable of performing complex multi-step tasks for users beyond traditional chatbots. Manus goes beyond systems like ChatGPT by independently executing actions such as analyzing resumes, summarizing data, and even building simple websites for stock analysis, according to the company. Such AI agents are seen as a major shift in how consumers and businesses may interact with digital tools. Analysts say the acquisition could face regulatory scrutiny amid intense US-China tech rivalry. However, given Manus' origins, they note that cross-border AI deals increasingly attract attention over data security, national interest, and market dominance, potentially complicating approvals despite Singapore's role as the company's current base for global regulators worldwide in coming months. And that's the news this afternoon. Many thanks for watching. Do well to follow us via our social media platforms at SOUQ News TV. My name is Grace Komalafe, and coming up shortly is Just Africa. Please stay with us.
The world of business is one filled with men and women willing to dine with risk. And when we seek African business shapers, we see individuals who have denied self to build conglomerates. From controlling over 90% of diesel trade in Nigeria to almost throwing in the towel, then getting on the Forbes list, we present Olufemi Peter Otedola. The Nigerian businessman and philanthropist was born in Ibadan, the capital of Oyo State, on the 4th of November, 1962, into the family of late Sir Michael Otedola, the governor of Lagos State from 1992 to 1993. The University of Lagos Staff School, Akuka, welcomed Olufemi for his primary education and secondary education at Olivet Baptist High School, Oyo. Olufemi proceeded to Obafemi Awolowo University, Ife, for his first degree, graduated and joined the family printing press business, working hard and gaining experience. Femi Otedola ventured out starting Center Force Limited. The company focused on finance, investment, and trading. The oil and gas sector was Femi Otedola's next port of call. From quite a very humble beginning in the oil and gas sector, utilizing connections and networks of family and friends, he cultivated partnerships in diesel supply chain, him being the last man to the final consumer. Challenges breed opportunities, and in Femi's case, it was a late delivery of diesel from his supplier with a broken truck, and he caught the idea. He could do better and provide better services. He ventured into diesel supply business, buying diesel from a retailer and supplying to companies. Femi Otedola encountered several difficulties securing his supply and timely meeting the demands of his growing clients. This definitely was an opportunity he identified in the fuel retail market. Otedola secured the finance, and Zenon Petroleum and Gas Limited was born, a petroleum products marketing and distribution company. Otedola, owner and chairman of Zenon, in 2004 invested 15 billion naira in downstream infrastructure development and acquired storage depots at Ibadan, Apapa, as well as 4 cargo vessels, amounting to a combined total storage capacity of 147,000 metric tons. Zenon Petroleum and Gas Limited also acquired a fleet of 100 DAF fuel tanker trucks. By 2005, Zenon controlled a major share of the Nigerian diesel market, supplying fuel to most of the major manufacturers in the country, including Dangote Group, Cadbury, Coca-Cola, Nigerian Breweries, MTN, Unilever, Nestle, and Guinness. Zenon Petroleum and Gas was the name on major invoices and Femi Otedola the name on every lips, playing toe-to-toe with major multinationals. Zenon, in a very short period, silenced the competition and almost unilaterally determined the price of diesel in Nigeria. The competitors came to Zenon for supply. Femi Otedola, with the massive success Zenon Petroleum and Gas achieved, bought a 28.7% stake in African Petroleum. Otedola branched into the financial sector and aggressively stocked up the shares of leading financial houses. He became a top shareholder in Zenith Bank, United Bank for Africa, and the largest importer of diesel in Nigeria. He acquired major shares of Africa's Finance Corporation, Mobile Oil Nigeria Limited, Chevron Texaco, and Visa Phone. Otedola has his hands deep in real estate investments, including an acquisition in February 2007 by Zenon of Sterling House in Victoria Island, Lagos from the federal government. Lagos, London, Dubai, Monaco all have the signatures of FO Property Limited. He was appointed chairman of the Transcorp Hilton Hotel Abuja and tasked with driving its expansion and upgraded to a 7-star facility. Otedola has served as a member of the Nigerian Investment Promotion Council since 2004. Was appointed by President Goodluck Jonathan to Nigeria's National Economic Management Team. Otedola is chief executive and president of the Seaforth Shipping Company Limited and was at one point Nigeria's largest ship owner after extending control over the distribution of diesel products. One of his ships, a flat-bottom bunker vessel with a storage capacity of 16,000 metric tons, was the first of its kind in Africa. In January 2006, Otedola was appointed a non-executive director of Transnational Corporation of Nigeria PLC, a multi-sectoral conglomerate established in 2004 by then President Olusegun Obasanjo to respond to market opportunities requiring heavy capital investment in Nigeria and across sub-Saharan Africa. He held this post until February 2011. Otedola was appointed chairman and chief executive of African Petroleum in 2007 through the acquisition of controlling stake in the business. Following Otedola's entry into the company, African Petroleum share price rose sharply, increasing the market capitalization from 36 billion to 217 billion naira in 6 months. In March 2009, Otedola became the second Nigerian after Aliko Dangote to appear on the Forbes list of dollar-denominated billionaires with an estimated net worth of $1.2 billion. Otedola announced the move to upgrade African Petroleum's liquefied petroleum gas storage terminals in Lagos, Kano, and Port Harcourt in October 2009. Harsh economic conditions necessitated by the slump in the oil prices and credit squeeze of 2008-09 led African Petroleum to record a loss in 2009. With the world oil price crash came difficult moments for Zenon and Otedola. He was very close to complete bankruptcy.
I said to myself, I was not going to have friends and enemies. I was going to have only competitors. I had 2 options, commit suicide or weather the storm.
African Petroleum, rebranded in December 2010, changed its name to Fort Oil PLC. Otedola paid his near $1 billion debt and invested in the financial industry, making him a top shareholder in Zenith Bank and United Bank for Africa. Otedola restructured the business, focusing on technology and improved corporate governance, and in 2012, Fort Oil returned to profit. Otedola financed 57% of Fort Oil subsidiary, Amperion Limited, which acquired the 414 megawatt Girigu power plant for $232 million in 2013. Fort Oil improved financial position and diversification into power generation resulted in a 1,321% rise in its share price. The first half of 2014 saw the company's pre-tax profit more than double year on year to 4.1 billion naira. Revenue growth for the whole year was 33%. Fort Oil sold 70% of its equity to Swiss commodity trader Mercuria Energy Group in September 2015, giving Fort access to global commodity markets. The deal was thought to have given Otedola an estimated $200 million. In 2019, Femi Otedola sold Force Oil PLC and announced plans to change focus from oil to power with his company, Geregu Power PLC. Geregu Power PLC became the first power generation company to list on Nigerian Stock Exchange, demonstrating to stakeholders in the sector how they can fix financing and make profits sustainably. The company's market capitalization is now 726.75 billion naira, and the share price now 290.7 naira from the 2.5 billion shares that were listed at 100 naira each. Otedola, the chairman of Geregu Power, sold down a Geregu stake to bring on institutional investors. In October 2021, Femi Otedola was announced as the single largest shareholder of First Bank PLC. FBN Holdings, the parent company of First Bank Limited, witnessed a commendable 437.9 billion naira surge in market capitalization. FBN Holdings appointed billionaire Femi Otedola as the new chairman of its board of directors, effective January 31st, 2024. Femi Otedola has had its share of controversies. Zeno was among the number of companies named in an alleged fuel subsidy scam report. This was followed by a case against Farouk Lawan for bribery. Otedola has also lost in the ever-evolving competing space of business acquisitions. Transcorp and Huheli Power Plant are two notable projects he closely bidded and lost. Femi Otedola philanthropy is quite remarkable. Otedola made a 300 million naira donation to the completion of the National Ecumenical Center in Abuja. In 2007, he gave 200 million to the State Security Trust Fund in a drive to reduce crime in Lagos. Donated 100 million naira to the Otedola College of Primary Education in Ekpe. In 2008, he donated 80 million to the Faculty of Agriculture at the University of Port Harcourt. Femi Otedola pledged and redeemed $25,000 to the Super Eagles in the match against Algeria in 2019 AFCON. He gave all 750 students of Augustine University 1 million naira each. Femi Otedola sits comfortably on the Forbes billionaires list of top 20 richest people in Africa. Femi Otedola is married to Mrs. Nana Otedola and have 4 children: Olawumi Christy Tolani, Florence Ifeoluwa, Elizabeth Temi, and Fewa Otedola. Olufemi Peter Otedola is a standout astute business executive.
Lateef Jakande. Born Lateef Kayode Jakande in the Ekpetedo area of Lagos Island, Lagos State on July 1929. He studied at the Lagos Public School at Enowa, Lagos Island, then at Bonham Memorial Methodist School, Port Harcourt, King's College, enrolled at Ilesha Grammar School, where he edited a literary paper called The Quarterly Mirror. Jakande began a career in journalism in 1949 with the Daily Service and joined the Nigerian Tribune in 1953. The owner, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, appointed Jakande editor-in-chief of the Tribune in 1956. Jakande established John West Publications in 1975 after leaving Tribune and began to publish the Lagos News. He served as the first president of the Newspaper Proprietors Association of Nigeria, NPAN. Jakande ran for election as executive governor of Lagos State in 1979 on the Unity Party of Nigeria platform. His administration was effective and open and implemented the cardinal policies of his party. He introduced housing and educational programs targeting the poor, building new neighborhood primary and secondary schools, and providing free primary and secondary education. He gave poor people's children education, and many of them are now very prominent in the society today. Jakande established the Lagos State University and constructed over 30,000 housing units. After the military takeover in 1983, Jakande was charged, prosecuted, and convicted of treason and later pardoned. He served as Minister of Works under the Sani Abacha military regime. He died in Lagos on February 11, 2021. Lateef Jakande was the first civilian governor of Lagos State. Lateef Kayode Jakande, SOUQ Enlightenment. The Three Wise Men. Iconic sculptures and statues adorn major metropolitan cities of the world. In Lagos, Nigeria, the statue of three men designed to depict the state's cultural heritage and to usher in visitors and tourists into the ever-accommodating center of excellence is no doubt an astounding work of art. Originally built under the administration of Colonel Raji Rasaki, designed by Bodu Shodende in 1991 and standing over
Hello and welcome to Just Africa, where we explore the bold ideas shaping the economy. I am Olumide Shokoya. Of course, I'm not the only one here. I also have Omevi Idola. Omevi.
Yeah, good afternoon, Olumide.
Compliments of the season are still in order.
Yeah, of course. In fact, we should make it louder now because
Yes.
we're coming to the end of the year.
Yes.
Yes, a good afternoon to you, Lagos, Nigeria, and Africa, and to you from wherever you're watching from across the globe. And once again, welcome to Just Africa. It won't be wrong if I still tell you a Merry Christmas and a groundbreaking New Year. So we're looking forward to, having this sweet conversation because the year is gradually winding down. And, a lot will be discussed today. And I'm super, super excited that, yes, we're going to be having this interesting conversation. I wish it was actually coming on the 26th, which was Boxing Day. But, we did something similar like that during the Christmas.
Yes, so across Africa, now, boxing has been promoted more than a sport. It's framed as a tool for discipline, youth empowerment, crime reduction, and even peace building. From inner city gyms to conflict-affected communities, boxing programs are often funded as social interventions. But today, we ask a harder question. Can boxing truly build peace, or are we projecting our hopes onto sport without addressing deeper structural problems? Now, is boxing transforming lives or simply managing frustration? Is it peace building or performance? This is Just Africa reaching you live on SOUQ News Television. So we'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll start off. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Just Africa. Now, today's discussion centers around fist, frames, and false narrative. Can boxing really build peace, or are we asking the wrong question? Now, joining us to unpack this robust topic is Olumide Oyedako. My namesake, fight event strategist, grassroots boxing development expert, host Which Way Naija boxing podcast. So glad to have you, Olumide Oyedako.
Yeah, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be.
All right, welcome. And of course, compliments of the season as we wind down to our new year. Now, let's start off. What does the term boxing abolitionist, I beg your pardon, abolitionist, what does it really mean? And why does it sound confusing and misleading?
Yes, I really don't know what boxing abolitionist would mean, but of course I know what an abolitionist is. Basically, someone that is trying to stop a procedure or a strategy, you understand? So, but I'll bring it down to boxing. A boxing abolitionist would simply mean somebody that's pushing the agenda that boxing should be stopped as a sport or as a form of entertainment or a lifestyle, in a nutshell, basically.
All right, thank you for that. Now, boxing and peace building. It almost seems like two opposite sides. So how did boxing, start being taught, as a tool for peace? Olumide, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
If I should elaborate briefly on my journey to the sport of boxing, I actually started very late in boxing years. I think I started at the age of 27 when I was in university. And what led me to boxing was this desire for me to change my life, change the way I was living, And then boxing did it for me. So when you say boxing, it can help you because I personally believe that peace begins with you. So when you are at peace with yourself, that's when you can be able to spread peace. And at the time when I was a little bit disturbed, boxing brought the clarity that I needed, and here we are today. So I believe that if it could work for me, and it has worked for many other people as well. So why not push it? Why not push it to disturbed people? We have a lot of distressed youths around that can, even distressed individuals, that can use boxing to calm the inner storm.
Okay, thank you very much, Olumide. I'm not going to forget your name because my co-host is Olumide. So, okay, now looking at the way boxing is, of course, it's a kind of sport that you deliberately inflict injuries into your opponent. The referee says, okay, it starts, and you consciously put in force. You blow the person on whether there is blood or not, you keep punching that person. How does that affect the society? Don't you think that could be a form of violence on the society generally?
I think for better understanding, we should see boxing as a sport, as a game of will. The intention of boxing is not to inflict pain, as it were. The intention of boxing is to be able to stand against the will of another person. You understand? So it's not really about inflicting pain. We can have a box off and then nobody goes home injured. But the point of getting in the ring with you is to see if my will can be stronger than this. And one of the easiest ways to break your will is to give you a punch. You understand? So that's just the dimension that is attached to it. So basically, the importance of boxing itself is not the pain that will be inflicted. However, pain is part of the byproducts of it. Yeah.
Are you saying that we should see pain as a form of entertainment? Like you see someone in pain, you should enjoy it. It's giving you joy, and you scream, this excitement, this happiness that, yes, give him more, give him more. Do you think it is fair enough?
I enjoy it though.
I think the core essence of boxing as a competition, as a sport, is for you to avoid the pain. You understand? So when you get in a boxing training, you are taught how to avoid punches. You are taught how to catch punches. Now, it is your inability to catch the punches or to avoid the punches now that makes you get hit in the face. So it's not just a sport that, okay, I say, this man stand in front of me, just give me your face and let me punch it. No. The responsibility is upon you to probably dodge your punch or if I think I can also eat it, yes, I can leave my face and prove to you that, okay, your punch doesn't faze me, you know. So the core essence of it is not really getting punched in the face. The core essence is eat, don't get hit. That's basically.
All right, thank you very much, Olumide Oladapo. I enjoy boxing, not because of the violent part of it, but because it's a tactical kind of sport whereby you have to analyze the person, your opponent's weaknesses, the play, where to, you know, land that punch to, you know, give him a knockout. So, but the question I want to ask is, what problem is boxing supposed to solve? Is it violence? Is it unemployment, identity, or maybe social exclusion?
So basically, boxing is a sport of, it's an individual sport. That's where it starts from. So it works more on the person, the individual. And then, just like I said when I was starting out, I said it's a very good way for you to calm the storm in your head. Boxing is a perfect representation of life. Life is not a bed of roses, and you can't be too flippant with it. You have to be very serious and conscious of the steps that you're making. So individually, just like I said, once you're at peace with yourself, that's when you can be able to spread peace. And boxing itself, it's a dynamic sport. It's a kind of strange sport in the sense that when you see a very, should I say, rough, probably gorillas or something, if that's a person and they get involved in the sport has a magical way of calming you down. And you know, when I started boxing, even to this point, unless you get in the ring with me, you would hardly know that I can actually throw a punch at you. You understand? And then it's just a sport that makes the weak strong. You understand? The emphasis is on the transformation from weakness to strength. It's not from strength to recklessness or brutality. So if you train in a very good environment, you are taught how to keep yourself under control. Boxing is a sport of control. It's not as easy as it seems. No matter where you catch yourself watching two boxers, you know, go at it, it's never as easy as it seems. Even though they might be trained to the point that makes it look so easy to you, but please don't get it taken. It's a game of restriction, of limits, of control. You understand? And
all right. So I want to speak to that restriction, because being a boxer, there's an adrenaline that comes to your mind. So are there regulations? What mechanisms, or should I say, what oversight is put in place to make sure that these boxers only box in the ring and not outside the ring?
Okay, from my own personal experience, you know, when you start training in boxing, you are trained in ways that add strength to you, understand? And then if you're a very sensible person, the first thing is, a not very sensible person should not be put through the ranks of training for boxing. I have a personal philosophy that it's the meek ones, the naturally sensible ones, that should be put through the sport of boxing, because it's actually a dangerous weapon. But now look at a situation where you're walking on the street. You have trained arms, you understand, and then you punch a civilian in boxing terms. You're just causing problems for yourself. You'll be paying hospital bills. You might even find yourself at the police station. So just for the sake of being enjoying your own life, you avoid getting into altercations. Yes, people get angry and all that, but you just find out that you are going to pay more for getting into a fight with someone that is not trained. And then, you know, it's so much imbalance. And also, coaches are also responsible for the boxers that they train. You understand? So each coach, a proper coach, is registered with the boxing association in the states or in the community. And then each boxer is also attached to a coach. So the responsibility is on the coach to make sure that their boxers are of good behavior, you understand? And must also understand that even in the case of anger or frustration or times of rage, your fist is not the first thing that you bring to the table.
Okay, so Olumide, let's bring boxing back home to Africa. Now, the boxing, the UFC in Europe and other parts of the world, of course, they are clearly different from the African style of boxing. From your perspective, what makes the African boxing different from the rest of the world?
Talking about Europe, the Americas, and all that, those are developed nations. And when we're talking about developed nations, we break them down to people. People make up these communities, you understand? So individually, if a nation is developed, what that's telling you is just that the people are also developed. The people are refined. So and in developed nations, about well over 90% of the systems are developed, refined, and working. So it boils down to everything that is done with them. So when you have developed people working in a company, what that's telling you is just that that company is developed. So it's going to show itself, going to perpetrate in the kind of activities, your systems, your production. So the problems that we have here is that the continent is developing, but definitely most of our systems, our productions would be developing.
Okay, so looking at the way the African system of wrestling is, and that's when compared with Europe and America. Now, would you prefer the African style of wrestling, or you still prefer the one over there? Because here, our style does not involve the fists and all that. They just ensure that until the first to use the opponent's back to touch the ground, something like that.
Agidigbo.
Agidigbo. So I got that today. So which would you prefer? Because looking at the way organizations are campaigning for the abolishment of UFC and boxing around the world, including the legendary Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, and the rest. Everyone is lending the voices that boxing should be abolished. Don't you think that African boxing system should be pushed forward to the world?
Yes, just like you said, I think you mentioned we have some traditional African martial arts, you understand? But what made all these martial arts to actually survive the test of time was that they were cultural events, they were traditional events. So it wasn't about maybe commercial success. It was just more about heritage and all that. So the people of Africa have enjoyed their own martial arts. But now when we're coming to commercialization, that's when we have, these knockout wheels and everything is trying to be brutal and dangerous and all that. You understand? But I think it's imperative that we look at the reason for the cause for abolition. Actually, to be honest, until very recently, the Olympics, the Olympics was totally against boxing. I think the issue on ground was that in the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles, boxing would not be featured. And then it calls for concern because boxing is on the Olympics itself is one of the greatest platforms that the sports have been exhibited. The likes of Muhammad Ali, the likes of George Foreman, they were gold medalists. Even our own Anthony Joshua was a gold medalist at the Olympics. And then one of the prominent boxers that ever lived in Nigeria, Jim Mayogun, was also a medalist at the Olympics. Now it's best, and this was years ago, well over 40, 50 years ago. So why in 2025 that the cause are now loud? Personally, I think it's a war of attrition. And you just have to understand that the sport has to play. So everything has advantages and disadvantages. So why not try to work on the advantages? Let's get the best at boxing thing. Because now, if we join the core with people in the US, Mike Tyson made a fortune out of boxing. Muhammad Ali did the same. And so many other Americans have done that. Now, they've made a fortune, they have legacies. But even in Africa, we are yet to even get to. So, if they are at the point where they feel they've had the best of boxing, they are free to leave the sport. But for us in Africa, that we can also do something like that.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. Two things you said, commercialization. Can't we push our own African wrestling? I'm so concerned about our own system. What is the name? What did you call it again?
Agidigbo.
The Agidigbo. Can't we push it to the point where we have to commercialize it? Why can't we sell Africa to the world? Do we really have to buy the other system of the world to Africa? That is one. Then secondly, talking about making fortune and all that, do you remember the side effects boxing had on Muhammad Ali and many other people? Some persons had died as a result of boxing and the side effects and all that. Those of you in boxing, do you consider all that? So commercialization of the African boxing and the side effects of boxing.
So very good. Good questions. The commercialization of boxing. When we look at boxing, I think it's not fair for us to look at the USA and think things will just happen. We must be very honest with ourselves that the type of monies that went into pushing boxing in the USA, they were not really good money. You understand? A lot of there was sport laundering. Millions of dollars were passing through boxing to clean the money for them. So people are very ready to put like maybe $10 million on a fight to push the sport. You understand? So for African boxing to get to that point, number one, we cannot be looking at that volume of money first, but we must also have ready people to push African combat sports. There's a guy right now in Nigeria working with this Hausa traditional arts and Dambe, the African warriors and all that, Mr. Maxwell Kalu. And he's done pretty well with Dambe. You know, maybe from passion to, he has the resources to push it. You understand? So basically, we must look for people with the resources to push the sport. We must first understand that the sport itself is tangible to the people. You understand? They must be convinced of that it's tangible to the people and it's worth their investment. Yes, then they put money on it. So that's the caveat. Once there's people to put money on it, once there's education in the ecosystem, of course, and the infrastructure as well. Yes, and then the infrastructure. Infrastructure as it were is not the best. You understand? But as things improved in terms of technology and all this, yes, you can have the commercialization well alongside the capital. That's for the commercialization aspect. And for boxing injuries. Okay, I would like to point out that all sports have their injuries, you understand, depending on the mechanism of the sport itself. And because Muhammad Ali and a few people suffered some type of injuries from the sport, debilitating as we call it, still doesn't make the sport unattainable. You see how our Amanda had an accident yesterday on Joshua. Is a two-time heavyweight champion. He has changed his life. Look at Kamaru Usman and all that. Okay, fine. Those are like out of world experiences, you understand, or situations. But then, because people now the man was involved in an accident yesterday. That wouldn't stop him from getting in a fight with tomorrow. or buying a new car. Because people, get involved in road traffic accident does not mean that they'll say, no, let's stop using vehicles, let's start using horses and all that. So those are not really solid reasons. And if you follow boxing very well, one of the rules is that you protect yourself at all times. And when I see boxers that are, getting sloppy with their defense, I do tell them that, my guy, don't become a vegetable. Your family is waiting for you. So don't, at the expense of your own health, you let your ego take over you and you make silly mistakes in the ring and you get into it. No, there must be balance. You understand? Your offense and your defense and all. And because there are injuries happen in every sport. In every sport. So you can't really say, okay, boxing is a corporate. You understand? It's a brutal sport. Of course, you must know what you're getting into. It's a life and death situation. It's a very tough sport, no doubt. But of course, you can be built, you can be trained for the sport. And always follow the rules, follow the precaution, and all that. And unfortunately for us here, like I've mentioned, infrastructure, the healthcare system is not on top of the game. You understand? So all these interwoven intricacies would cause us issues. But even it's something worthy of note that we've not had a lot of terrible accidents in boxing. Although we lost the Nigerian boxer, Segun Success in Ghana, I think he made a lot of headlines and all that. But if the healthcare system is okay, the tests can be carried out, they know the health status of each boxer. You understand? And then they're cleared to go ahead and all of it. So we can't be narrow-minded to say because people can die in the sports. People can die on the battlefield, but we still have people becoming soldiers every day.
All right, so if you look at some of our professional boxers and whatnot, Mike Tyson, the rest of them, they've had some form of traumatic childhood experience and all that. Even in Nigeria, they will tell you if a child is wayward or proving too stubborn, enroll him in boxing. So my question now is, does boxing actually reduce violence or does it just redirect it?
Very good question. When I go on radio, when I'm talking to the local community, I do charge them and tell them, if you have a stubborn son or a stubborn daughter, don't tell him to change. You understand? Bring him to the boxing gym. His first experience at the gym would let him know if he thinks he's the toughest guy. No, you're not the toughest guy. But come to the gym to experience that. So that helps to curtail the implosions or your explosions as well. You understand? When you have at the back of your mind that you're not the toughest, you're not the most brutal person, it gives you a sense of caution. You understand? And it also helps. When you say boxing, it's organized chaos. So I would agree with you that it's a redirected energy and violence. Basically, I would accept that, and I would agree with that. That we can redirect. The energy is there, the force is there, the impulse is there. So if your energy and your impulse and a natural trait of stubbornness and not giving up can be aligned into something else, then yes, let's start.
All right, so I would also like us to look at the psychological effects of boxing. How do we, because some boxers have had memory loss, internal bleeding, this and that. Any advice? Let's start from there. Any advice or what can be done? Can it be avoided, or what are the necessary treatment for this when a boxer finds himself in this kind of situation?
So yes, I think we should separate the two parallels of boxing. We have the amateur boxing and we have the professional boxing. So most of these concerns that we're having about boxing is more on the professional side. Because now it's bumps, a source of livelihood. So you cannot become a professional boxer. One of the rules for you becoming a professional boxer is that you must train every day. You understand? So we must be able to say, okay, as an individual, personally, I would be honest with you, I would tell you that the best benefits of boxing can be enjoyed as an amateur athlete. You understand? It improves your health. It's probably a sport with no disadvantage at the amateurs. You understand? I make bold to inform you that our one-time president in Amdazike was an amateur boxer. You understand? Pastor Adeboye was an amateur boxer. Now Simandela was an amateur boxer.
Wow.
You understand? Yeah, was an amateur boxer. I know that. And it's not that it wasn't boxing that made them the leaders that they became, but there was something inside them that, led them to the sport.
Hello?
And
boxing
provided, boxing provided the structure for them, the discipline that they needed. You understand? So when it comes to mitigating injuries as far as professional boxing is concerned, a lot of research still has to go into play. We have this head guard that the boxers wear to minimize the impact of the injuries.
All right, only if I might ask you now, some boxers put on boxing gloves, some don't. Any effect? Which one is more endearing, damaging, or I mean, why do some, I know there's amateur, there's professional, there's lightweight, there's heavyweight, and some don't put on boxing gloves, some put on this kind of small kind of stuff on their hands. What are the differences? Can you differentiate them?
So just like I said, the amateur boxing is probably the safest of the categories in the sport. And they're the ones that wear all this protective gear. So the head gloves is there, the mouth guard is there to reduce the injury. Yes, there are arguments that probably the headgears are not all that effective. But just like I've said also, amateur has the safest, but the emphasis is not even on power. It's not on force. It's on speed, flexibility, agility, and some beautiful traits. You understand? So that's just basically the difference. Another difference is that you will see that some boxers would fight with the best, and some would not fight with the best. So the guys that fight with the best are amateur boxers. The guys that fight shirtless, they are professional boxers. So that's the difference.
All right, so I know boxing also, a lot of youths seem to be interested in this kind of sport. So, but my question now is, at what age would you advise a teenager or a preteen or a parent basically to enroll their ward into boxing? At what age are they physically, mentally matured enough to go into boxing?
When I meet boxers, when I meet the parents, the first question I ask them is, what do you want to do with your boxing? So, do you want to compete, or you're just doing it for fun? All these things will determine the strategy that you're going to use. Now, as a parent, if you're looking at Anthony Joshua, you want your child to get in that line as early as possible, as early as the day that it occurs to you. The following day, walk to a gym and get the child on. So there is personally, when we're looking at boxing itself, Anthony Joshua started at the age of 18, which is actually late in boxing terms, but he's a world champion. Now, he's in a country where there's structure, you understand? And I think he has what it takes to get to the level that he is right now. But age is also a limited factor. Because as early as possible, probably from the age of 5, 6, when they kind of understand the instructions, they are ready to go, you understand? But of course, if you have a passion for the sport, you think you can do it, you have it in you, No age, at least before 20, get into the sport before the age of 20. Then let's see how far you can push it. How far you can push it. The timeline from amateurs, from a beginner to world championship level is 10 years. So you add 10 years to your age, then you can do it. But 30 and above, no, you can do boxing for fun. But 30 and above, don't start boxing for fun.
All right. 30 and above, don't start boxing. 5 years upwards, you can enroll your child. So we're going on a short break. Olumide, stay online. We're going on a short break. And when we come back, we'll continue with Just Africa. Stay tuned.
From Dubai to Lagos, Nigeria, and across the globe, SOUQ News TV is your #1 station focusing on business, economy, and development. With global digital reach, we connect Africa's sports to the world stage. Welcome to SOUQ News Television, and here we go beyond the headlines, from breaking news, in-depth conversational programs, to market analysis and indices. From policies affecting growth to unique documentaries, from live event coverage to bespoke productions, we deliver content that connects you to the world. At SOUQ News Television, we provide news surrounding business, economy, and development, infomercials and jingles that stand out, short and long-form documentaries crafted to international standards, independent production spaces with full technical support, special coverage for individual and corporate events, a special form of documentaries through our prestige package, Immortals, where we tell your story the way you'd love it, and business support services tailored for small enterprises. SOUQ News TV, powered by FemWatch Limited, also home to the Isle 95.9 FM Lagos and Kasua 99.7 FM Kano, and Emirate News Television Abuja, together forming Africa's trusted media powerhouse. Storytelling, coverage, and connection that matters. SOUQ News TV, your home for business, economy, and development.
At the Africa Development Studies Center, ADSC, we are committed to driving sustainable growth and development across Africa through innovative training and research. Our mission, empowering leaders, policymakers, and professionals with the tools they need to create lasting change. With customized training, dynamic research programs, and study exchanges on leadership, management, and other critical development topics, ADSC offers a platform for exchanging cutting-edge ideas and global best practices. We provide comprehensive services in research and consultancy, capacity building and training, education programs, publishing and knowledge sharing. Our esteemed faculty, composed of seasoned experts and researchers, ensures a learning experience that is insightful and practical. We specialize in policy development, implementation strategies, and monitoring and evaluation. At ADSC, learning is engaging and enjoyable. Our unique methodology includes talks, interactive exercises, games, video screenings, and lively seminar discussions, all in a comfortable and friendly environment. For more information, email us at info@adstudiescenter.com or call +234 912 039 2362. Visit our website www.adstudiescenter.com to explore our programs and upcoming events. Africa Development Studies Center, rethinking development for Africa.
The Yuletide season is here, filled with colors, energy, and the familiar bustle that signals the close of another year.
It's that time of the year when people get busy, market gets more sales, and everyone just wants to close the year strong.
For many, December brings excitement. but for others, a quiet pressure to tick boxes left untouched since January.
In the race to finish well, many people often push beyond limits, forgetting that peace is also an accomplishment.
Some get agitated, anxious, or desperate to prove something before the calendar slips.
But the truth is, no achievement is worth your safety, your finance, and your peace of mind.
Your journey is valid, even if everything didn't go as planned this year.
Celebrate your progress, protect yourself, and move wisely through the seasons, temptations, and rush.
Let December be a month of gratitude, intentions, and clarity, not fear or unnecessary pressure.
Step into the Yuletide, heed this clarion call. With calmness, wisdom, and joy we ride. Staying alive is the greatest achievement of all.
All of us at SOUQ News TV, welcome to the Christmas season, a time of reflection and gratitude. Stay safe and remain grateful.
Fellow Nigerians, did you know that constituency and executive projects in your communities are not gifts from your legislators? They are projects sponsored by the legislators and funded by the federal government to improve your life and the lives of those around you. These projects belong to you. Without your vigilance, they might never be completed. Don't allow them to fade away into unfulfilled promises. Stand up, take ownership, monitor their progress, demand accountability, and report concerns to ICPC. Call our toll-free line now on 0800-2255-4272 or WhatsApp only on 0806-656-4726. This message is brought to you by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, with support from MacArthur Foundation and the Center for Democracy and Development in Africa, CDD.
The Yuletide season is here, filled with colors, energy, and the familiar bustle that signals the close of another year.
It's that time of the year when people get busy, market gets more sales, and everyone just wants to close the year strong.
For many, December brings excitement, but for others, a quiet pressure to tick boxes left untouched since January.
In the race to finish well, many people often push beyond limits, forgetting that peace is also an accomplishment.
Some get agitated, anxious, or desperate to prove something before the calendar slips.
But the truth is, no achievement is worth your safety, your finance, and your peace of mind.
Your journey is valid, even if everything didn't go as planned this year.
Celebrate your progress, protect yourself, and move wisely through the seasons, temptations, and rush.
Let December be a month of gratitude, intentions, and clarity, not fear or unnecessary pressure.
Step into the Yuletide, heed this clarion call. With calmness, wisdom, and joy we ride. Staying alive is the greatest achievement of all.
All of us at SOUQ News TV, welcome to the Christmas season, a time of reflection and gratitude. Stay safe and remain grateful.
Welcome to Just Africa, where we talk about bold ideas shaping the world. We're on a short break and
The Yuletide season is here, filled with colors, energy, and the familiar bustle that signals the close of another year.
It's that time of the year when people get busy, market gets more sales, and everyone just wants to close the year strong.
For many, December brings excitement, but for others, a quiet pressure to tick boxes left untouched since January.
In the race to finish well, many people often push beyond limits, forgetting that peace is also an accomplishment.
Some get agitated, anxious, or desperate to prove something before the calendar slips.
But the truth is, no achievement is worth your safety, your finance, and your peace of mind.
Your journey is valid, even if everything didn't go as planned this year.
Celebrate your progress, protect yourself, and move wisely through the seasons, temptations, and rush.
Let December be a month of gratitude, intentions, and clarity, not fear or unnecessary pressure.
Step into the Yuletide, heed this clarion call. With calmness, wisdom, and joy we ride. Staying alive is the greatest achievement of all.
All of us at SOUQ News TV, welcome to the Christmas season, a time of reflection and gratitude. Stay safe and remain grateful.
Fellow Nigerians, did you know that constituency and executive projects in your communities are not gifts from your legislators? They are projects sponsored by the legislators and funded by the federal government to improve your life and the lives of those around you. These projects belong to you. Without your vigilance, they might never be completed. Don't allow them to fade away into unfulfilled promises. Stand up, take ownership, monitor their progress, demand accountability, and report concerns to ICPC. Call our toll-free line now on 0800-2255-4272 or WhatsApp only on 0806-656-4726. This message is brought